ASL Premier League Season 2, Group Stage, Round of 16.
Alrighty, so here we go. In the upper left-hand corner here on Ultrazine Stronghold, we are going to have from Celestial Sevens Gaming.
Sabre.
And his opponent across the map in vibrant purple from Team Anna Kendrick, our Zerg player.
FatTire.
I like that.
That was so hard. I was just like, I remember casting him before and I remember his team.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't remember, that's why
I did not look before the game. That was pure luck from weeks back.
Nice. Well, maybe he was very memorable then, so we'll see
Yeah,
what happens here. Do I intimidate you?
Oh, God.
Does anybody else? I swear, I voted there. I said, does anybody think Sabre has a god complex?
I saw.
And all but one person said yes.
Was Sabre the one who said no?
Probably one of his other names.
Yeah, it could be.
And then he asks if he's intimidating FatTire. Nope. Oh, man, I hope FatTire smacks him right in the face.
Well, to be honest, I think that would be cool. It doesn't matter to me who wins this game because I have a bet on Claire advancing 4-0. I've got a $10 bet with Neuralisk, I believe, and so that's where my heart lies at this moment. But I do think that if FatTire takes it, I think Claire has a really strong versus Zerg record. So I'd have to say that seems like a more likely matchup for Claire to win. I've never seen Claire play TPT that I remember.
Okay. Yep. That definitely makes sense. So far we are going, what, CC first?
Mm-hmm. CC first out of Sabre.
What, do you think FatTire was going to go CC first?
I did, actually. I was very surprised because what you do is you go for the no spawning pool infestors that were so popular just a few months ago, and then you rush out, you take an SCV, and then you neural parasite it 5 times in a row to get your command center.
And that would be a CC. That would be the only way you could do a CC. I don't know.
Yes, it's not the most possible thing in the world.
I've built a Nexus before as Zerg, so yeah. I mean I understand.
I actually submitted a game to a Day 9 daily. It was a Cannon Rush daily, and the way we did it was we opened. I was a Protoss and he was a Zerg, and he macroed up. He rushed infestors whilst I was cannoning around, and then he stole an opposing probe and built cannons to finish the guy off. We didn't get on the daily. It was really saddening.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, so far we got Ling Speed on the way here. That natural's down. Right now, I'm seeing the same configuration as we saw in the first set tonight from our Zerg player.
The same. I
can't say his name right, so I'm having a hard time here.
FatTire, not FlatTire.
How's it? Oh.
He's still rolling. He's getting into this mid game and he's getting down a pretty quick Baneling nest. Now this could be defensive, and I certainly think being aggressive on a map like Ultrazim is a bit tricky, certainly. But against a CC first with speed very much on its way, this is not the worst build in the world coming out of FatTire.
No, not at all. And I'm waiting. He's pulling Lings across the map, so I'd expect that it's going to be a Baneling bust.
Yes.
And it's going to be a 2-deep Baneling bust. How did he spot that?
He has scouted across the map, but you can usually tell if a Zerg's mining gas past 100 that they're up to something.
Oh, and he saw the Baneling nest. I'm looking now.
That would also be a clue. Now,
yeah.
as it turns out, with a big bust on its way, he can just go through all of these depots and possibly even hugely supply block Sabre.
He's proxy hatching him.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty cool.
This is something only I've done so far, I swear.
The wall is very, very deep for Sabre. He's going to need, I think, 13 banelings to go through a barracks. So that's quite a lot of banelings. And then you haven't got any left when you get inside. But Sabre has so few units that actually just smashing through the wall in that fashion might be a decent way of going about it. I also think if he takes out these first 2 depots, there's a gap between the command center and the bunker that would allow him to get in. But I'm not 100% sold on that. Oh, no, I am now. I've just rotated. That's a massive gap. He should be able to do that easily.
Yeah.
So, really, he only needs, like, 10, I guess, maybe?
I'm kind of expecting him to do something like I tried to do to Yui, and go ahead and build a couple spine crawlers down here, float an overlord onto the high ground, and start poking at the structures and soften them up, and then try to baneling bust.
He's doing it. He's building a drone.
Yes!
Of all the builds, that is the craziest, I think. FatTire behind this has taken... he's going up to Lair in his main base, so we could see an advancement on the tech. We could see road speed or bane speed research, but it is worth noting that Sabre, in his infinite wisdom, has teched up to tanks, which is a pretty good decision, especially on a map like Altazim, where you can cover your whole ramp with a single tank blast.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy to see that his third base is creep. Actually, he can see it now. He can see the creep. Yeah. And, yep.
Yeah.
Can he even get out? Oh, yeah, he has to lower the 4 to the right.
Do you think he might be going Nidus? Do you think FatTire might go Nidus? I'd love to see him go Nidus. He's got an Overlord pretty much in position as well. And Sabre can't see that. So if we see the Nidus come down, he'll be able to just run straight into the main base. But the downsides could well include that tank. I think the vision... The tank is just out of range, but there's no vision.
Yeah.
Every area has vision there.
Yeah, it does. Well, we got more spine crawlers coming. We still got the links.
But the tank's moving. The tank's moving. This is the moment.
The tank's moving because he knows there's a base down here.
Nidus Worm is on its way.
Aha! Hey guys, hashtag Nidus. We're gonna have it
coming.
2 days in a row. We're gonna have some Nidus.
You only see when you see a Nidus Worm, you know the Zerg is about to win or lose really spectacularly. And that's very much what we're seeing. He's making 8 banelings so he can go up the front. That's the right number of banelings. He's making... Wait, is everything else in the Nidus? Where is the Nidus? Has he put everything else in the Nidus Worm? He hasn't. There's barely anything in here. He really needs units at this point. This attack is so late.
Why is it taking so long? He should have got a queen. He could have made a creep tumor over here.
It's because he built a proxy hatch for whatever reason. I mean, the spines are great, but they're not... Wait, is he putting... What's... The roaches are going across the map. He's getting ventral sacs, but he's got Nidus Worm already. So this is a little bit confusing to me. What... He's kind of splitting his forces in a really bizarre way, in that he's trying to go for Nidus and drops at the same time. And Nidus does what drops does already. And in addition to that, drops are probably a bit better, a bit worse. They both have their strengths and weaknesses. As it is, however...
You're going to have units flying in, dropping from the sky while they're coming from below at the same time.
Yeah, Sabre's built Banshees, and whilst there's a decent number of Spore Crawlers here to support this, they are going to provide great scouting against whatever it is FatTire's planning. Oh,
and this is going to get scouted right now.
He will have just about seen that.
Oh no, and he's going to see all these overlords over here, and he's going to totally start dropping turrets. What do you think?
How can one read this game? I think he should be dropping turrets. This is a little confusing for anyone to be dealing with, but if we actually look, the Nidus would not have worked. Sabre can see that Overlord now. He should be chasing that off, and these Banshees could do a great job of keeping Sabre at home, and there's a lot of them by this point. 4 are on the field, more are coming. He's just going to be chasing, he's going to be fighting Spore Crawlers and winning in a moment.
Yeah, he is. I mean, there's no reaction for more spores or queens. I think he's really relying on this drop being the game. Otherwise,
he is. This is a super all-in attack, and there's actually a Viking here. It's going to be a confused Viking. I think everyone. Oh, if they clump up, then all... Oh, that's fairly major. Just dropping straight to Hellbats as well. All the SCVs have been pulled off the line. I'm not sure if this is going to be enough with the tank. I think Sabre's going to clean this up really easily. The Zerg unit count is dropping all the time. There are 4 Banshees in the Zerg base. What does FatTire have left that can deal with this? He can't fight into 3 tanks, and everything has just gone... Yeah, everything's gone Sabre.
You remember?
Okay. So jump to the game. Don't have any of the... Do we get from now?
Huh?
I can't tell if we... Yeah, he said start casting as soon as we get into the game. Yeah, we'll just do that. So, spawning in the top left-hand corner. In purple, from Team Anna Kendrick and down 0-1 in this series. Needs this to stay out of the losers bracket. We have our Zerg player, FatTire. He said player intros aren't working. I'm just
Oh, yeah,
with
sorry.
it. Yeah.
I keep forgetting. We finally get
I
into
know.
the rhythm, you know?
We got into the habit of doing it as it would
Alright.
ordinarily be wrong, and now we can just go for it, and it feels weird.
Now, in the upper right-hand corner, if anybody feels that God should get taken down a notch, this would be the time to let FatTire know. From Celestial 7 Gaming. It is the co-founder of the ASL. It's Sabre. Also the winner of Season 1.
Yes. Well, he's a very strong player, but I still feel like Claire can knock him down.
I hope so. I hope so.
You really want that, don't you? You really
Well,
want
I got caster money on it. Yeah.
I guess I did it in a way. If Sabre wins this, then Claire has to 2-0 for my bet to be successful.
Well, we're going to find out. And he's playing it safe, other than the fact that he hasn't built a Rex. He's going CC first again? No, okay, there it is. Seemed a little delayed. Maybe I'm wrong.
On a map like Habitation, there's a lot of thought behind whether one should open Reaper or Marine first. If you open with a Marine, you can often find yourself in a situation... I think it is going to be a Reaper, but you can find yourself in a situation where you can get a Marine out just to catch the Overlord off guard and actually often get that kill, which is pretty nice. But some people do just prefer to open Reaper. It's not the greatest map in the world for Reapers. It's got a lot of defensive points on it, and not that many entrances to the base from the natural. But even so, it's not a... There's not really such thing as like a bad map for Reapers. It's just a less good map for Reapers.
Yeah, I agree. I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works itself out pretty well. Sabre getting that Reaper straight up.
Yep, going straight Reaper, and I mean... It doesn't look like he's playing anything fancy here. His first 2 games have been rather standard out of him. And FatTire on the other side tried a very creative multi-vector build there last game.
Yeah, by which you mean he went in a lot of different and conflicting directions.
Everywhere. Yes. So, and the bunker is going down.
I think this is really this is like a bit of a chancy bunker in that he can always cancel if it doesn't look like it's going to finish. It doesn't cost him that much. Might cost him an SCV if he's unlucky and the 25 minerals. And I think it is going to cost the SCV. No! Dodges away. If this finishes,
get him on the left side. Oh, he got him.
It is worth noting that if the bunker finishes, the Reaper has a really good standpoint, so there's really not that much of a loss condition for this whole process. It's just annoying. It's really annoying play, and it's good play. That's why it's annoying, because it forces a response, and it's not something you can do a lot about in the early game as a Zerg. So FatTire's kind of torn between whether to kill off that bunker or go for the Reaper, and the correct answer is to go for the Reaper as it scoots around. Sabre actually going for 3 Reapers, a triple Reaper opening, which is very, very good at forcing out Lings. In the early game, if the Zerg makes a tiny micro error, so much as a tiny error.
Hey, left. Go ahead and cover for me for just a minute. I'll be right back. Okay.
All right, no problem. So these Reapers are going to attempt to pick away at the Queen. They know that Lings are replaceable, and the Queen, if you kill it off, is a valuable reward. And FatTire, I think, once again is planning to call this early. He's got a Baney Nest coming down, still mining out of that gas in the main, and hasn't really produced that many workers. So, with that in mind, he's looking to basically put on the hurt. And on a map like Habitation, it's a pretty decent map for it. Sabre's getting himself a reactive factory and a tech lab barracks. So, this is a little delayed by virtue of the Reaper, but he could transition towards Marauder Hellion. He could go for Banshees. It's all the hallmarks of very standard Terran play, and he's actually getting a really late first command center for this. The second gas to me says Banshees, but okay, he's going Armory. He's not going Thors, is he? I don't know if he's going Thors. Sabre's, I think, doing something a little bit crazy this time. He's got the 3 Reapers out across the map, and he's going to keep the hurt on his opponent, but they could be drifting home at this point. Bit surprised to see that. Okay, so he is going Hellions. Getting the Hellions out is going to allow him to get Hellbats with the Armory. It's going to be Hellbats. It's pretty simple. extra starport going to be going down. So it's Hellbat Banshee perhaps, going for about a 10-minute timing with those. Going to try and hit and do some real damage and perhaps polish off FatTire a little early. But actually this Lynxwell catching one of the Hellions out of position, really not what you want. You don't want to see that go off before it has a chance to become a Hellbat. Another one goes down. That round of Hellions was wasted. A lot of the Lings have been picked off though, so with those 18 Lings in production, it delays FatTire's macro or delays his attack a little bit. I think since he is probably planning on going for an attack, wait, that Overlord's drifting towards the top. I wonder if he's going to try and do Nidus again. We do see Lair on its way, but from FatTire we could see something absolutely crazy. As we saw in the previous game, his build was a little bit, as you put it, inelegant. You being Canary, but just the challenge level. It was a little inelegant, so it could be in for some surprises here. Sabre's paying attention. Good control there means he isn't going to lose too much, but wedges the Reaper. No, the Reapers are so slippery getting out. Does eventually lose all of those, but at the cost of the entire wave of Lings once again. Nice micro as well, finishes off. And every single time...
Lings died?
Yeah, Lings died. 2 waves of Lings that FatTire sent across the map have just been polished off by Sabre's mid-map control.
32 Ling deaths. Jesus.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He's going Banshee again, huh?
He is going Banshee, but in quite a different way this time. He hasn't gone for quite such a greedy opening. He's looking to play Mech.
Banshee opening.
He's looking to play Mech.
Yeah, he's sending that Rax out. He's going to use it as a scout. Doesn't need it anymore. Just needs more room for factories. Oh, here we go again. Wow, you aren't kidding about this.
Just every single time. He just sits in the middle of the map kind of going, yeah, I've got Hellions and you don't have Hellions, so I'm going to kill you. And he's lost a few Hellions every time. He's lost a couple of Hellions or a couple of Reapers or something, but every single time the Lings attack. They don't run home. They don't go, oh, Hellions, we can't fight those. And they try and go for an engagement, and every single time there's just more and more, and it's cutting into the macro of FatTire to such a crazy extent.
Oh, here we go. 4 Hellbats and a Hellion.
Yeah, four Hellbats and a Banshee shoving into the natural. Lings attack into the Hellbats, and they do absolutely nothing as per. You can't fight those. It would be nice to see medevac support coming out with these guys. It's really useful to have the healing, but Hellbat versus. See, there's less than 2. It worked.
It worked. But now there's 3, now what?
Now don't pull the drones, do not pull those drones. The Lings are going to be able to assist, but still there's an evacuation on the natural as this little kill force of Sabre just shoves its way in. It could even pick up +1 Carapace, which I don't think is going to make it. Yeah.
Denied.
It's just not.
This is just not fair.
He's just not achieving very much. There's so many Hellbats and so little units coming out of FatTire. So few units perhaps.
Oh yeah, we got Sabre going to expand the natural, the gold base.
Yeah, he's picked off his opponent's natural, for goodness sake. He's done a tiny little scrappy Hellbat push, and it's just killed FatTire's base because he's thrown away so many Lings in the early game without establishing his economy successfully. A Hydra pops out, that goes straight down. And Hellbats are one of those units that can actually kill lava pretty effectively, so he just does that as well.
Cool. Anytime I drop Hellbats, I go for those lava. Kill them all. It's like 2-3 shots.
Yeah, Banelings are good on those too, and Phoenixes. And if you're being a troll, if I can't do anything with a DT, I will put it on the lava just to mess with Zergs.
Good micro there for one. All right, good job, FatTire.
Yeah, he pulls that.
Almost had that one.
Gets out. There's no cloak on these Banshees this time around. It was researched in the previous game, but Sabre does manage to get those out. But when he leaves, finally, what is the damage that's been dealt? Well, Sabre is on nearly double the supply of his Zerg opponent. He is on just over double the worker supply, and that's basically a saturated gold base in its own right if you look at him. So he should be in a pretty convincing position to just advance into the mid game and win against whatever FatTire throws at him. But don't count out larval production. If we see perhaps a double expand out of FatTire, he can get back into this.
Yeah, fortunately he had that 3rd base down. It's very fortunate because he couldn't have handled 1 base at this point.
Ooh.
No.
1 base Zerg versus 3 base Terran. That is not good. Now the opposite is a winnable situation.
Yeah. He's going to need a lot of roaches. I mean, you're looking at Siege Tank, Hellbat. Basically, it's all mech units. He has at least one of all of them.
Yeah.
So 2 of all of them at least. So he's going to need a combination. What would you say would be the right combination to deal with all 4 mech comboed?
Mass Ultralisk.
Okay.
Yep.
I could see that.
Mass Ultra with a bit of Viper mixed in, maybe even a bit of Infestor if you're feeling fancy. But the real issue is the fact that that is Hive Tech, and so far FatTire is on Lair, but he's going for Roach Hydra, which can be used effectively against mech compositions, but you have to be engaging so smartly, and you really need Vipers to back it up, which are still Hive Tech. So I don't know if FatTire intends to just kind of go for a last-ditch attempt, but he is in a weak position and should really be droning desperately rather than attempting to make defensive units. He can't afford to make defensive units. If he makes defensive units, they'll all die if he's attacked. So he should be droning to get himself...
going to be attacked here.
Yeah, he is going to be attacked, and he should just be droning anyway, because you sometimes have to macro and hope you aren't attacked. It's the only decision left. It's that or the game ends. And if you are attacked, the game ends, but you'd have lost anyway if you've gone for units. And that is, I think, where we're looking at for FatTire. If he gets the engagement to end all engagements, he can win this, but I think you're going to be relying on Sabre making a mistake.
Oh, yeah, he is trying very hard to get Sabre to make a mistake here.
Yeah.
And he has 26 Lings on the way, which, of course, the Hellbats are going to be an issue there.
The tanks are really what's controlling the space, and every inch Sabre brings them forward is another jot of space that FatTire doesn't have to fight in.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, you can see the Zerglings are trying to get to the siege tanks.
This is a pretty strong engagement for FatTire, I won't lie. Fighting in range of the spines, the Zerglings have just bust in. They are now actually surrounding the tanks, and this is the fight that FatTire needed.
Woo! There you go, that's how you play a little bit of catch-up. There's 2 Hellbats for free.
Don't fight with Zerglings, no!
Yeah,
no! You need those for winning! You can't overextend. The forces of Sabre are just pushing across the map. So many Hellbats, of course, fueled by that gold base economy. So he can just use those as tanking and just a kind of portable shield for the rest of the game. Like
infinite Zerglings.
It's exactly like that.
Oh, couple on the move command. There goes a free one.
Mm-hmm. But FatTire he's droning up to a reasonable extent. He's now on 2 base income. It's looking a little bit more even. He does have to, once again, still rely on Sabre, perhaps making a little bit of an error, because he's got to be so careful as he moves into this game to not make any mistakes, and it's doable, but it's risky, and actually his response to that is to go for the unit that you can make mistakes with, but if you do, sometimes it doesn't matter, because he's making the Swarm Host, and they make free units. That is a good way to come back into this.
Yep. I saw that. I saw 2 on the way, now I'm seeing a couple more. Well, actually, how many has he got now? Yeah, just 2. But against you, you're going against a straight mech right now with a 1.2 bajillion Hellbats. And that also totals out to being 22. That's pretty good. And then here come the 6 Hellions around the south end trying to snipe into the 3rd base. Oh boy.
Blue flame! Blue flame! So many drones are roasted away. Drones that FatTire really can't afford to lose. And, even more. A whole base of drones killed there.
Yeah. Well, one of the problems you got to look at is +1 attack just started for FatTire, and 2-1 is on the way for Sabre.
1 was actually complete, so it's just +2. I think Sabre's gone single armory. Yeah, single armory. A second one now on its way, so that +2 mech weapons, mech armor will start. And he's actually going for a Sky Terran transition. I was about to say, I wonder if he's going for a Sky Terran transition, but I look in the base and there are starports building. He's got 3 tech. He's got 3 Tech Lab starports. I think we're going to see a couple of Ravens. 5. Oh, I missed those. That's a lot. So I think we could see battle cruisers based on the Behemoth reactor. We could very well see a bit of Banshee, bit of Raven mixed in. It's all a very, very scary army composition. And Sabre's actually he's playing with his food, to be honest. He's playing with his food. To
put it mildly, yes, I would agree with you here.
Yeah.
He should be able to win this game outright right at this point.
It's a decent risk. I don't think he wants to push into this. He kind of wants to throw the army away to a certain extent so he can remake on battlecruisers, but that does give FatTire a window. good scans, so he knows exactly where the army is, and he knows that he's up against a mighty 4 swarm hosts. I don't know if his intention is to pick those off, because I know that if I was toying with my opponent a little bit and I saw swarm hosts, I would eliminate those swarm hosts. I would make sure that they died, because they are not something you mess about with, even when you're a mech player, even when you've got tanks.
Yep. Well, that's just... We're looking at an army supply, 2-to-1. Look at this. He's going to put a planetary over here.
Oh, he is actually being extremely cheeky.
Yeah.
He's being very cheeky now. He's got mass command center, and that's quite smart in its own way when you're playing mech, because minerals are not your limiting factor. Gases. So having a lot of gas and then just dumping the rest of your minerals into PFs, into turrets, into even sensor towers if you're feeling really cheeky.
Here he goes.
In fact, there is one. No, that's a missile turret. So yeah, these Hellbats are they're just shoving in, and I don't think he intends to win the game with this, but he could. The Hydras are not being kited back. Sabre wants to get his back.
Honestly, the Locusts are the ones really saving him here.
Yeah, well, they always are, aren't they? They're gonna push.
And mules were dropped.
Yeah. He is playing with his food a little bit.
Toying with the enemy, guys. You see, this is what we're up against here. He is toying with the enemy.
Yeah. Oh, no, Hydras. No, don't push into that. That's not a good idea. GG, no battle cruisers. Sucks to be you, Sabre.
The food said screw you.
Yeah, that'll teach you. That will teach you.